everyone, and welcome to the Icehouse podcast. I'm Bryar Stewart, the Community Manager at the Icehouse, and today I'm talking to Gary Walker, business owner of Flooring First in Taupo. And Gary actually did our business owner program in the Bay of Plenty region. And so we're talking today all about that experience, his business journey. And so welcome, Gary. It is really great to have you on the podcast today.
Thanks very much, Blair.
Cool. Well, we'll get into the first question, and that is explain your business to our listeners and your journey of becoming a business owner.
Okay, so Flooring First Taupo is a flooring retailer. We sell and install products from all leading New Zealand suppliers, so carpet, wool and synthetic, vinyl, laminate, timber, and as of the last year, we've branched out into tiles.
Oh, cool.
My background was in engineering plant maintenance, and my wife Sandra was involved in facilities management, and we both worked for the last 10 years over in Western Australia, before taking over Taupo Flooring First. We had excellent teams with the company that we worked for, but the company had a very poor work culture, and over the period of 7 years we were with them, it kind of ground us down, and our thoughts started returning back to New Zealand. And a friend of ours had actually suggested that we should look at buying our own business, which is something that we'd never actually considered.
Wow, interesting.
So we initially started looking at hospitality. Thought that would be a nice cushy job to do. We almost bought a motel in Fox, which was a rather lucky escape. And after about 12 months searching for hospitality, we kind of realised that maybe it wasn't quite right for us, and we started to broaden our horizons a little bit. So we looked at a number of different businesses, and we actually travelled over to Rotorua to look at an engineering firm, again, which turned out not to be quite right for us. But rather than have a wasted trip, I had another couple of options up my sleeve, and one of those was a flooring business in Taupo. So we made contact with the owners, we came across. Lucky for us, everything just clicked. We found a really well-run business, fantastic couple that owned the business. We went away, had a bit of a think about it, decided that it was going to be suitable to our skill set, made an offer, got accepted. And
wow.
Before we knew it, we were owners of a flooring business.
Wow.
So that was how we got into becoming a business owner for ourselves.
Wow, that's a crazy journey. Just going, okay, we're going to buy a business, not being set on the industry as such, and then jumping into it and having accepted. Was it quite a quick process in terms of having that?
It was a quick process from the initial visit to having our offer accepted. And then it probably took 3 or 4 months to get all the ducks lined up between lawyers and accountants and everything else that kind of went with buying the business. So the process, I think, from memory, started off around about February, March, and by the middle of July, we were sitting in the hot seat owning the business. So,
wow, and was staff already there that
yes,
had been with the business?
We actually negotiated with the owner that he would stay on for a period of 12 months to guide us, because we had absolutely no knowledge of flooring at all. We had the skill set in terms of the management, the administration, team building, all of that, but we had no actual knowledge of flooring. So we wanted to make sure we had good grounding. He'd been in the business for 40 years, so he was a perfect person to learn from, and he agreed to stay on. Plus the key staff member that was with the business stayed on and is still with us today.
Oh, great. Awesome. That's good. Good bunch of people then.
It is. We've got a great team.
Yeah, what an experience. Great. Okay, next question. When did you first hear of the Icehouse and the business owner program? So
first heard about the Icehouse through becoming a member of the local Chamber of Commerce, and we went across to a couple of talks that the Icehouse had done for the Taupo Chamber of Commerce. During COVID, though, we took advantage of some of the government assistance that was available, to take on board the business mentor. And because I knew this was something that the Icehouse provided, and I'd heard of the Icehouse, that was where I turned to first. It was through our mentor, Jamie Brock, that we became aware of the business owner program, which he was heading up at the time. Seemed like a really good fit for us, because the journey we were on through COVID, we had adopted a strategy where we wanted to grow the business. And the business owner program looked like it was going to be a good fit. It looked like there was a lot of good learnings to be gained from the program, and it was going to be applicable to what what we were going through at that point in time. So hence we signed up. It was also great that there was some financial assistance there for the programme as well, again, from government grants, which really helped for a small business getting into that type of thing.
Yeah, of course. That's great. And so you're based in Taupo?
Yes, we're based in Taupo.
Cool, that's good. And did you go to Tauranga to do the program?
Yes, I left at 6 o'clock every morning, drove across, grabbed a coffee in Tokoroa to keep me awake. And,
that's commitment, nice. Awesome, that's
was
great.
Good.
That's great. Okay, leading from there, how would you sum up your business owner program experience?
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah, great word. Hey, if there's more, say it. If there's not.
Seriously, I really enjoyed the experience. We had a really diverse group in the programme. We had electricians, kitchen designers, landscape gardeners. We had a chap that designed freezer truck bodies, and of course myself in the flooring. Wow. So you would think not really much similarity. However, we actually found we were all in a similar position, looking to build a business post-COVID. Jamie presented heaps of information on the course over a period, the 6-month period. And in most sessions, I was able to take a nugget away that I could work on over the course of the next month and apply within the business.
Great.
Not everything was implemented, but what was really good was that it helped the thought process with the team, because the team knew what I was going and why I was going. And so at our monthly team meetings, I would come back and bring back some of the information. I would actually use Jamie's presentations to the team so that they could understand what I was going through and what I was learning and why I might be coming up with some of the crazy ideas that I was coming up with. And it helped me to bring them along on that journey with me. And as a result, it allowed us all to pull together as a team to work towards that goal that we were on for that growth vision.
Yeah, and that's so important, because otherwise sometimes the business owner can come back and is sort of like buzzing and they've got so many ideas, and then the team sort of go, what is this? Where's this change come about? And don't have the context behind it to get behind it and want to support. So it's cool to hear you then actually presented those key points that you got out of it with your staff. That's a really great idea.
I got some really funny looks sometimes with some of the ideas that I came back with, but like I said, we didn't implement everything, but it did help generate discussion, which was good.
Yeah, and being able to bounce ideas off your staff and see which ones stick, and that's really good. Another thing you mentioned comes up pretty much in every podcast I say around, when you get a group of people together in a program, you walk in, you kind of think, this is a completely different industry, how are you going to relate with me? And then you walk away realizing you've all got very similar pain points, challenges, successes, all that sort of stuff. And so can bounce off each other really easily, which is great to hear. So that's really cool. Yeah. Next question is, what changes did you implement into your business and your lifestyle since the program? Quite a big question, I think.
quite a few things as well, quite a big answer.
Go for it.
From a business perspective, I've been able to improve my delegation skills, which is one of the things that Jamie had me working on. And the biggest change for myself was to be able to hand over a lot of the customer consultation and quantification to a sales staff. I was still very much dealing with customers on an individual basis type thing. So I've been able to pass on quite a bit of that to the sales staff.
Great.
The other big thing I've been able to pass on is management of our social media. So we've got a sales assistant, Jasmine, who's doing an absolutely amazing job with our social media, way better than I was doing. And she's really got her head round about it. I mean, so much so I'm looking to actually get her some special marketing training, because she's never done it before. She's just got an absolute knack at it.
Right.
Between those two things, that's allowed me to gain a couple of days a month easily. And that allows me to work on different aspects of the business, such as going out and finding new quality repeat business from builders, architects, designers as such.
Yeah.
The biggest change we've implemented personally is we are actually stepping back from the business one day a fortnight to take a bit of time out for ourselves. So since the start of the year, what we've done is we've actually put in place that every second Friday we take off.
Okay.
What it allows us to do is that if we've got work to do on the business, we can do that uninterrupted from home, and we can do it, Sandra and I can do that one-to-one without the phone ringing or a customer coming in or somebody asking us a question type thing. And what we find is we get through that so much quicker that we're actually left with a fair chunk of the day for ourselves. So much so our paddleboarding, our stand-up paddleboarding is coming along brilliant. It's absolutely fantastic. We're able to work on that. But the other
Good
thing we
spot
have
for it
done,
too, in
yeah,
Taupo. Yeah, definitely.
the other thing we have done, we've done the same thing for our staff. So post-COVID, like a lot of businesses, we've actually experienced a boom, and I think probably more than most in town in terms of the flooring industry, because we went so hard in terms of advertising and marketing, and we brought on quite a few new customers. We've been exceptionally busy. Probably increased our turnover by about 50%. So what we've done with the staff to help with the stress that they're under managing so much extra work, we've actually implemented that every quarter they get a long weekend off, which includes a Monday and a Friday.
Wow.
That they can plan in advance, organise time away with their families, go away and actually enjoy some quality time where they're out of the work, and they're not having to deal with the work, they're not having to deal with the phone, they're not having to deal with their emails.
Yeah, wow.
Gives them a bit of a reward for the hard work that they're doing, but it also helps them to de-stress a little bit so as they come back recharged and ready to go. It's just one of the things that we experienced previously. We were in quite stressful jobs in Australia, that we always had a target of a holiday every 3 months, and so we've implemented that for the guys on the floor. We put the rules round about it as to how it works, in terms of how busy we are and what they've got to prepare before they go. But providing all that's met, there's 4 long weekends a year there for them, and hopefully it just helps them in their own lifestyle as well.
Yeah, reset, recharge, and feel like they can give their best, knowing that they've got a little set time that they can have with their family and reset. It's great. What an awesome idea. Cool. Anything else, or those are 2 key things?
Those are really the key things. That delegation is really a big thing for me, because it was something I found quite hard. It's really easy to resort to type and do what you know you can do. Working on the business sometimes can be a bit scary, because you're going into areas like marketing or financial or planning for growth, and it's not things that you're super familiar with. So you're a little bit out of your comfort zone, but I'm getting better at it. And Jamie makes sure each month that I'm pushing myself a little bit further. So it's we're seeing the results, we're getting the growth, and it's definitely working. So it's all about me growing myself as well.
Yeah, good on you. Brilliant answer. That's great, Gary. What learnings, if any, did you take from others in your program, other people that were on business owner program with you?
You know what? It wasn't so much that I took learnings from others, but again, coming back to the thing that we found, we all had a lot of common issues. And what was fantastic was to be able to sit there and discuss those issues with the group, bounce different ideas off each other. The strong thing that came out for all of us, I think, was that we got the message we're more valuable to our businesses when we're working on them rather than in them. And again, it comes back to what I was just talking about a minute ago there. It's so easy to fall back to type, but when I actually spent a bit of time doing my own marketing, contacting new customers, I did up an email to all the builders that we didn't deal with in town. From that, I managed to bring on 2 permanent builders, 1 designer and 1 architect who had never done business with us before, or had done very little business with us before. And we are now their preferred supplier for each of those. And that was through a very simple act of working on my business. I could have done half a dozen quotes and got half a dozen jobs. But what I've actually got is 4 customers who are giving us multiple jobs throughout the year and giving us quality work as well, not cheap work, real good quality work. And that's important, because that's the part of the market we want to play in. So I think that was a key lesson we all got from each other, was that we should try and spend more time working on our business rather than in our business type thing. And that was how it worked. But that's certainly what I got out of it. Yeah,
amazing. That's great. So you've mentioned it a little bit, but you also have taken on Icehouse coaching with our Bay of Plenty lead and coach, Jamie Brock. How has this added to your business owner journey?
So a little bit of background. Jamie's the second business mentor we've had during our time on in the business. We were already wondering about the merits and the value we were getting from the previous mentor that we had. We didn't really feel we were being listened to or advised properly. And then COVID struck. And when we were looking at what government assistance was available, we decided mentorship was one of the areas that we wanted to go. I was already very strong. I wanted to grow the business, but I also wanted to make sure that I wasn't taking unnecessary risks that could affect the business badly in such sort of precarious time.
Yeah.
So again, having known Icehouse, knowing mentorship was an option. That was the way we decided to go.
Nice.
One of the, sorry, you.
No, I just said nice. Yeah, good call.
So one of the things that struck me during our first meeting with Jamie was when he asked what strategy we wanted to employ during COVID. Before he could even give us the options, I was straight back at him stating that I wanted to take this opportunity to grow the business. I wanted to take advantage of potentially other businesses might be sitting back a little bit, might even be withdrawing some of their advertising. And as soon as I said that, Jamie had a grin that went from ear to ear, because he was finding that every business he was dealing with during that period was doing exactly that. They were either consolidating, firefighting, just trying to keep a hold of what cash they had. Yeah. And so I think it was really refreshing to Jamie that he had a business that wanted to go and take a chance and grow. Yeah. And as soon as I seen the smile on Jamie's face, we knew that we had the right person in place to be able to assist us in that journey. But what we were really looking for was not a yes man, and Jamie's definitely not a yes man. Mm-hmm. We wanted somebody that would actually listen to what our thoughts were and critique them. And if Jamie thinks it's wrong, he'll tell you it's wrong. If he thinks you've got a good idea, he actually helps to make that idea better, because he can look at it and put a different slant on it, and make it so much better, so you're going to get so much more out of it. Yeah. But likewise, we don't necessarily always agree. So you can actually make us stop, think, potentially change direction, or if we push back on it, he'll understand why, and he'll support us in it and help guide us through it. So we really see Jamie as part of the team. We might only meet up for a couple of hours a month, but he's a key part of this team going forward, and the growth strategy we've got in place is going to be vital in helping guide us through that process. So yeah, we love working with him. It's a great relationship.
I love that you see him as part of your business's team. That just sort of says it right there. You know, he is an outside perspective, but can bring such a fresh approach and things that maybe you're not thinking about, because, you know, business owners are very much in the business as much as they're also trying to work on the business, but in it. And so it's nice to have that outside approach, but someone that really cares about, you know, how your business grows and the successes that it has. So that's very great to hear. Cool. Go Jamie. Jamie is awesome, that's for sure.
He is.
He is, yeah. What is one thing that 2020 taught you that you're taking into 2021?
So, believe in yourself and believe in your team.
Great.
Our team have been fantastic during 2020. They've handled everything that COVID could throw at us, and we worked through it so that we've had our most successful year to date. Quite incredible considering there was 6 weeks of the year where we couldn't trade. During COVID, we made sure we looked after the team 100%, and they've done the same for us, managed a huge increase in workload since we were able to open back up. We didn't cut wages at all during COVID. We paid 100% wages all the way through. I think the team appreciated that, and compared to where a lot of other businesses were during that period of time, they know that they were looked after. There were also 2020 is also when we made some key marketing decisions. So to up our advertising to target key customers such as architects, interior designers, etc. And we were able to take advantage of some really good marketing, which has now paid off in the latter half of the year. We've got an order book now that's never been so full. It's just absolutely incredible. Yeah, long may it continue.
Yeah, wow. And I love what you said about how you made a decision in a really tough time and not knowing what was coming, that you wanted to grow, and bringing that into 2021, that, growth is important. And look where you are now, after your most successful year. That's really great to hear. Wow, this has been a very great podcast. Lots of gold in this podcast. Lots of goodness. Last question is, what piece of advice would you tell a business owner of a small, medium size in New Zealand at this time? So we sort of had a very interesting year of 2020, and now we're in 2021. Is there any advice that you give a business owner?
This is me, and it's all I know how to do this, so I'll just come out with it. Don't procrastinate.
Yeah.
Be bold. go with your gut feel and lead from the front. I don't believe there are mistakes, only lessons that we can learn. If you make a decision that's not working out the way you thought, guess what? You can change it. Over the last year, we've increased our turnover by almost 50%. We've increased our staffing by a third. We've just taken on our first flooring apprentice installer. And we've also launched a new division of Flooring First called Taupo Tiles. So that's not bad for a year when we were closed for 6 weeks, when we've had all the talk about recession, when we've had COVID breathing down our necks every few months. And like I said, don't procrastinate, just go make those decisions and go hard.
Wow, so inspiring, Gary. And I know those listening, it really is. It is so inspiring. And those listening who are also business owners or in that field will definitely be taking a lot from what you've said over this podcast. You know, you've been confident, you've been bold, like you said, you decided growth was important. And like you said, massive growth in 2020 and continuing. So well done for your achievements. Great to hear that Icehouse has been help, and Jamie has been a big help in that and part of the team, like you said. So thanks so much for your time, Gary. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Bryar. It's been really good. Much appreciated.